la. Gotta warm up our voice this morning. Man, we're late. We are late this morning. I just woke up. I'm not even kidding. 20 minutes ago, just woke up. Like, oh, my voice is still super low. I haven't even said a word yet this morning. So, hopefully, you guys like Barry White. And we're gonna get down to having a lot of fun over here today. So, we're gonna take our 16 by 20 inch canvas. My goodness, I'm happy I did this last night. Otherwise, whoo, we wouldn't have anything to paint on today. And we'll take our 16 by 20 inch canvas. We're gonna give it a nice little hug because it's nice and dry right now, right? And then we're gonna cover it in our liquid white and our liquid clear. Gonna show you literally everything. Gonna show you everything today. So let's fix some cameras, make sure we're looking at the right spot over here. Everything's looking nice and good. Zoomed in, this, that, and the other. What is going on? See if Facebook can connect. So, I'll literally show you guys everything what we're gonna do today. On Friday nights and Saturday mornings, we literally show you everything. So we're gonna take our Bob Ross liquid clear, we're gonna put that in the black section, and then we're gonna take our Bob Ross liquid white, and we're gonna put that in the top section, right? And then we're gonna get ready to paint. And it's gonna be a lot of fun. You guys are gonna tell me where you're watching from. What's your favorite sandwich? This is gonna be a lot of fun today. So this painting normally would be available for you to purchase, but last night it was already pre-purchased by Adam. So Adam said literally, go ahead and do whatever you wanna do. And, you know, like a little sunset seascape. All he said was my favorite color is orange. So we're going to have some orange in the sky and just make this gorgeous little seascape for him. It's going to be fantastic. So we're literally taking the Bob Ross liquid clear, getting it all over this little black section. I can't believe we overslept this morning. I was like, oh, I almost canceled the show. I was so tired. I almost just straight up canceled. I was like, that's it. I can't deal. I can't deal. It's too early. I didn't get any sleep. We were up until, what? 2 painting last night over on TikTok. So if you don't follow me on TikTok, man, you're missing out. You're literally missing out. Now we're gonna go up into the white section just the smallest little bit, and that way when I come down with the liquid white, I don't have to come and touch my dark section, right? Keep it nice and black, put that liquid clear on, only takes a second. Just like that. Gonna wash our brushes off. You guys are gonna tell me where you're watching from. What's your favorite sandwich? Make sure that you go over to my Etsy store, paintwithjosh.etsy.com, and see what we have available over there. We've got lots of paintings. I got lots of prints. Got over 50 prints over there. So it's gonna be a fun time. Gonna be a fun time. I don't know why my Facebook won't connect. There we go. We got people watching over on Facebook. Does it work? We're gonna try to make sure it works over there. So love you guys. Can't wait to get started here. And we're literally just about there. So we've taken our canvas, we've covered it in Bob Ross liquid clear. Now we're gonna cover it in Bob Ross liquid white on the top. And that way, all of our thick oil paints are gonna blend and slide around and move across our canvas. If we didn't have this oil, this blending medium, our Bob Ross liquid white, if we didn't have that stuff, man, our paint would not slide across and blend easily across the canvas. So you gotta have this stuff. It's vital to the technique. You can use linseed oil as a replacement, but it's clear, you know what I mean? And this liquid white really helps blend the colors together and just everything makes it just come out awesome. So I'm gonna put a little bit of our white on there and then we're gonna get started. Like I said, you can normally buy this painting, but it's not for sale. This one was already pre-purchased last night by Adam. So head over to my Etsy store, paintwithjosh.etsy.com. And we're gonna get started. Let's go, you guys. He said make a sunset seascape, and I said, dude, that's my favorite kind of painting to paint. So, let's go. Gotta beat the devil out of that old brush. Dab it off on a paper towel again. I'm sorry I'm late this morning, guys. Just waking up and trying to get going this morning. Here we go. Let's see. What are we gonna do for a sunset? Might as well just use the same old brush. Here we go. Okay, now, go through all the colors that we have today. Our cadmium yellow, bright red, yellow ochre, dark sienna, Van Dyke brown, sap green, phthalo blue, alizarin crimson, midnight black, and titanium white. right? We've already covered our canvas in our blending medium. So now let's go in, just make this gorgeous little orangey sky with a bit of red, a bit of our cad yellow. And we're just gonna drop it in everywhere. Look at this. Oh, that's pretty. A little of our yellow ochre down here, just to change up the flavor a little bit. A little more of our red. Maybe we'll come onto this side. Come into the red. Oh, look at that color, you guys. Just fantastic. Look at that color already, right? Come into our crimson. Doesn't need to take a lot of time. You don't need to have a lot of paint because it's gonna spread like crazy, right? It's gonna spread. Little crimson-y action over here. Maybe a little touch crimson out along the corners, along the top. And man, we're gonna have an orangey, just fiery sky. Make sure you get your sunglasses for this one, guys. Get those sunglasses out for this one. That's gonna be purty. Now we're gonna have all these colors every which way. We're gonna have this very bright area for some clouds back in here. Gonna be fantastic. So let's wash off all this color and then we'll spread it across the canvas. It's gonna be very cool. We always talk about the 3 P's of Paint with Josh, right? The first P is the amount of paint. Well, we've got a ton of paint up on the canvas, right? Lots of paint up there. So we need to take that paint and spread it nice and thin across the entire canvas. So let's come over here and we're gonna go like this. What we really need to do is, and I know I should have done this before, but I'm late this morning. And if I don't do it now, it's not gonna get done. And I need it to be empty. So we gotta take our trash out and refill, put a new bag in that can. Otherwise I got nowhere to shake the brush into. And that's not gonna work. Guys, look at that fiery red sky. Oh my goodness. That's a red sky and a half. That is a red sky this morning, you guys. What an orange surprise for Adam. He's gonna love it. So we gotta go in and we have to fill the bottom of our painting with some undercolor. Right? You're like, what the heck is undercolor? Well, if we're gonna paint with white paint and go across this dark area and have the colors shine through, there's gotta be color down there initially, right? So what are we gonna do? Let's take a little of our nice clean brush, right? Gonna come in, put a little of our undercolors back in here. So we'll take our crimson, nice deep dark reddish crimson-y color way back there, all the way up to the edge, right? And in this instance, it doesn't really matter if you go up into your sky because the sky is the same color. Right, gonna spread that crimson out. Let's come in, get a little bit of blue. A little bit of blue, gonna leave that underneath with a little dark separator in between. Now, with the blue and crimson on the brush, it's gonna start to turn purple, which is awesome. And this real purpley, gorgeous little thing down here. All that crimson and blue all together. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to shape out your wave perfectly, right? We're gonna literally create it as we go. Now, a little bit of brown right down here at the very bottom. Maybe we'll have a little bit of sand. We don't have too much. A little brown, little crimson. All we need in there. Gorgeous, right? Now we have got all these dark colors across our entire canvas, along the bottom anyway. And we'll be ready to blend it out. So, look at all that. Just nasty, right? Gotta wash this brush off and then we'll be ready to go, you guys. Tell me where you're watching from. What'd you have for breakfast this morning? I mean, it's probably later for you guys. I just woke up. I didn't have any breakfast. Literally nothing. Nothing for breakfast. All right, let's see. So, this is my breakfast right here. Breakfast of champions. Oh, you guys can't even see it. Haha, breakfast of champions, right? Fantastic. It would be really awesome if Red Bull could sponsor me. And then maybe I could get out of bed on time if I had enough free Red Bulls, right? Okay. Let's come in here, dabbing off our brush onto a paper towel so it's nice and dry. And then we're gonna come into the lightest area, just back and forth into that white, right? So it's getting a little bit onto our brush. Back and forth, bringing a little bit of the yellow down, a little bit of the white out, a little bit of the pinkish reddish in, all depends, right? But we're gonna keep that area nice and light colored so we can throw like a cool little sun back there. Now, based off of our pressure, right? Our P2, the second P of Paint with Josh, P2, based off the pressure, we can decide how far we want to pull that paint. How far all this dark color, which is our crimson-y, reddish mix, how far does it want to stretch over and try to cover all the yellow, right? All based off of our pressure. We get to decide. Look at that. It just wants to grow and grow and grow and grow, and you get to pick when we're finished spreading that paint, right? All up to you. Man, that's a fiery sky. Woo-hoo-hoo! Put your sunglasses on for this one, guys. Take me to the beach. Take me to the beach. What's that song? Take me to church, but like, take me to the beach, right? You guys no one gets me. No one gets me. Okay, we're gonna wash off that brush. And then we're gonna go back, throw some gorgeous bit of clouds all throughout the sky. Gonna be fantastic. A gorgeous sunrise. A sunrise sky. Let's get some starry clouds back in there, right? All right, we're gonna take a little filbert brush, just a little mini filbert brush. We're gonna put a soft little sun way out in the distance, right? So just like that, I'm gonna take our big old palette. I'm gonna come over here and get that white. And grab that white up, because everybody knows the sun, when you look at it, it's just bright white, just so bright it hurts your eyes, right? So we're gonna come into our lightest spot, maybe back into here, and push flat, and then rotate the brush, right? Push flat and then spin it to the left. And as it spins out, you make the most perfect little circle. If you just keep your brush just right in the center, poof, got this little sun way off in the distance, right? Nothing to it. Not a thing to it. Push it flat, spin it a couple times, and you're good to go. Like a Crunchwrap Supreme, good to go. Good to go. Everybody remember that old commercial? Okay. We're gonna come back in here with our white. Man, I need to go back to bed. Okay, we're gonna come over here like this, up into our color. Look, oh, look at it. Instantly wants to change colors and mix with all of that orange and red and all of that stuff in there. Remember, guys, we're gonna have to help Adam name this painting. So, start coming up with a name. What would you think it would be called if you were gonna paint it? And just like that, we get a little soft little color out there. And we'll come back with our 1-inch brush. Makes it easier if it's a little 1-inch brush, right? We can control it a little bit better. Just like that. Start to blend it down, working that white down into all of those gorgeous little colors, and it's gonna start to blend away, right? If you mix it too many times, it'll blend completely away, and that's not what we want to happen. So let's come over here. We're gonna get a little bit of crimson, just to darken up our color, maybe a little touch of black in there too. It makes this really deep, dark, purpley color. All right, and then out here, we're gonna come back in a little bit of just nastiness. A little stormy action out here, little Stormy Daniels, way out here on the end, right? Same brush, not gonna do anything different. Same amount of pressure that we did our white clouds with. All right, we're gonna pop in a little bit of shadowing back in there. Little shadows. As you mix it up, you go all over the place. Look at that. Boom, boom, boom. Little black, little crimson, so it doesn't go green. You don't want any blue in there. No blue on this one. Now, let's wash our brush off, because it's got lots of that sky color on there, right? If you have a lot of deep, thick color up into your sky, it's gonna transfer onto your brush very quickly and easily. So you're gonna need more paint. More paint. Our first P, paint. Our second P, pressure. What's the third P, guys? Does anybody know the third P of Paint with Josh? Any of the fans know the third P as we come out here and we start dumping on some of this white along the sides and the edges of those shadows just to create a little bit of depth and difference in there. Anybody know the third P? I'll give you a shout out. I'll give you a shout out. Perfection, almost. Placement, almost. Practice. Lisa Atkins was the first person I saw to say it. Practice. Gotta have that practice, because if you don't practice, how can you expect to be good at it? If you've never done practiced, how can you just gonna poof, you're good at it automatically? That's it? Better than everybody else and you never even practice one time? Man, I wanna come learn from you then, right? Okay, gonna come over here, gonna brighten this guy up a little bit more paint. Bit more of that nasty white paint onto the canvas, right? And then we're gonna blend it down, down to Chinatown, taking it down, all based off our pressure. How hard are we pushing? How far are we trying to stretch that color out, right? All up to us. What do you want it to look like? Totally up to you. Totally up to you. Look at those great little clouds out there. Just fantastic, right? Come up here a little bit, just to cover that little bit of yellow where it transitions in the yellow and the orange. Little mixing, just a couple little mixers back in there. Just fantastic. My heckaroo. A little bit of floaters out here, just to cover everything up. Bam, 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 bam. You have that little bit of difference all throughout the sky. Awesome little clouds, guys. Woo! That's a sky and a half right there. Now we're gonna wash off the brush. We're gonna come back in, gonna throw in some ocean. It's gonna be fantastic. So, everybody tell me where you're watching from. What'd you have for breakfast today? What'd you have for breakfast? Or what are you gonna go do today? What do you got planned? What kind of errands are you guys gonna run today? I've gotta run over to the gallery right after the show. I've gotta run over to my gallery and meet up with Maria, start figuring out what we gotta do to gallery sit. It's gonna be really cool. Gonna be really cool. And bam, almost lost my palette knife there for a second. Okay, you guys know me. Whenever I do a gorgeous little sky that I just love to death, I'm gonna put a little contrail out there to help remind me of Karen, which is London's mom, who got taken from us too soon. All right, so a little bit of white out there, and then we're gonna stretch it. Couple swipes in one way, and then stretch. Flying out there through the sky. Wicked, wicked, wicked. Just helps remind me of old Karen. And Karen would have hated the fact that, like, Karens became an issue, because she wasn't like that at all. She was not like that at all. All right, now let's come in. We're gonna make this gorgeous little seascape, you guys. So we're mixing up our white onto the same old brush, right? Limited tools, not too many colors. And we'll come over here. After I get all this crap up out of the way, we'll come over here and we'll start to just make our little bits of, like, old school waves that we did when we were kids, right? Little things, back and forth. Just a couple little horizontal bits, just like that. And if you don't fill in every single piece, right? Look at all that crimson just light up. Oh, instantly. If you don't fill in every piece and you don't make it all 100% the same, right? You leave a couple areas of light, a couple areas of dark. Look at how it starts to change from that crimson to the purple the closer we get down. And take our 1-inch brush like this, very softly, sliding it over to the edge. Oh, look at this, you guys, fantastic. My goodness, just way out there, right? You can even take it, let's get a little bit brighter up and just cover over that bit of our dark line right there, right? Not the entire thing, because I want it to be different. Oh, perfect, right there. A little bit of softness, a little bit of brightness underneath our sun. Woo! Look at that color, you guys. That's fantastic. Now, we're gonna come back in here. We're gonna take a little bit of a smaller brush, because I don't want to have to get such a big space with that bigger brush. We'll take a little smaller fan brush. We're gonna make a little mustache. Come down like that. Whoop, whoop. Just like that, little mustache. That's all we need. Fill in this little bit, smallest little thing. Couple little light areas, couple little dark areas in between all these little bits back there is literally all you need. Because you're gonna take it, and you're gonna stretch it, you're gonna flatten it, you're gonna push it, right? Just like that. Get those little bits, light, dark, light, dark, light, dark. And then this little guy, we're gonna slide off in this direction. Just like taking it back. It's our little bit of back ocean, little back wave that doesn't really have any detail or anything to it, right? It's just a little bit of color differential back there. A little bit of different color. Just like that. Got that little upside down, little mustache, like it sits out here in our lip. Little mustache. All right, tell me where you're watching from, guys. What are you gonna do later today? What kind of errands are you guys running around doing today? Let me see. My heckaroo, Pam Diane Robbins over there. Yes, this is oil paint. The blood orange is killer. Oh, I know, right? It's gorgeous little color. So, Hornby Island, Pennsylvania. We got Kimberly's at work, watching me at work. Girl, get to work. What are you doing? Louisiana. Elizabeth's got to work later. We got hanging with my boy, says Andrew. Man, Jay West says fire. Beautiful sky, says Christina. Kristen says Norfolk, Virginia. Man, that's cool. Okay. Now we're going to come in, we're going to load up our bigger brush again because we're going to make our awesome little crasher of a wave, right? With this gorgeous sky. I can't get over how pretty that sky is. So got our bit of our white on the brush. Don't need a whole huge amount. Doesn't have to be too crazily much, right? Maybe we come up like this. And then our little crasher starts rolling over. So over here, a little slide down, a little action as it slides down, right? And then we're going to take our bit of paint and slide it back. Start flicking it with just the corner of the fan brush from the line all the way back, but leaving a little, what do we call that little dark thing back there? That dark line, guys. What do we call it? Call it a dark, anybody? A dark, anybody know? A dark, I'm gonna say the first person who says it. Lance, dark separator. That's right. I already follow you, Lance. Otherwise, I was going to give you a follow. So Lance says you got to keep that dark separator. That's our little shadow back here. As the next bit of water comes in, it's got this little shadow underneath it. And if you get rid of that shadow and you touch this color to that color, poof, your painting goes flat instantly. You have no more depth. So don't do it, or Josh is going to get mad at you. I'm going to slide it out like that. I'm going to slide it over to the side. Right? It doesn't have to reach everywhere because it's going to move. It's going to move when we go to slide it with our other brush. So we're going to add a little bit of our white, our eye of our wave right in there. Take a clean, dry brush, going to start to spread it. But as we all know, with our pressure, it's going to move fast in every direction. And we got to keep this dark separator same as we kept it back there. So pushing upward towards that bit of light, just leaving the last little bit of lightness right back in there, right? Woo, Nelly, right up there. Don't touch it. Don't lose that dark separator. Now take this guy, work him down and to the side a little bit. Doesn't want the eye to be too big, that's for sure. Leave it back there like that. Now we're going to take what's left on this brush, come around the side and just start whipping it down. Whipping it down, down, down to Chinatown like that. I'm going to rotate the brush onto this side, turn it, and then whip it outward. So now we can save that little triangle back there. That's our dark separator from this last line. Back behind the wave, helps add distance and depth and gorgeousness to it, right? We're going to come down in here and slide it down. I love when clients say, yeah, just do whatever you want. Perfect. Love that. No stress on it, right? Woo, just gorgeous. And take that guy, I'm going to slide him down in front. Gotta have the one that comes down here be in front. Take this guy, slide him over to the side, and then we'll just really decide how big we want to have this crasher come in. Maybe we have our bit of ocean that starts coming down there. We're going to have our bit of our wave meet up with it over here. Maybe we'll start to shape what we want our little bit of guy to look like already as it comes down. You guys, what are you doing? Josh, what have you done to this poor wave now, right? Just trust me, guys. Just trust. I'll pull off in the opposite direction of however we went down over here, right? Leaving a little teeny tiny dark separator in there, and then all of a sudden, we're going to start to build our wave as it comes out towards us. Come back in here, very lightly, going along the edge, just very straight until all of a sudden, hey, look, we've just met up with all of those lines. So now we can start to curl it and come up like that. Slide it down, leaving a little bit of space down in here. You got to have some dark sandy area, so don't go too crazy. Right? And as we come in here and create that little curl, you have to go back before you go up. Got to make sure there's a little bit of like a little dark tennis ball back in there that you can't touch. And as you come back, you go longer and longer and push harder. More paint, more stroke, more paint dumping onto the canvas, right? Come up into here, grab it, make our little J strokes. Just like that, lining up with our other little lines as it wraps around, becomes more and more and more rounded, just based off how we pull the brush. We're starting to shape it. Very cool, right? Now we can go back and add more paint. We basically used all the white paint up off of that brush. There's no more white paint left. So we'll go back, we'll wash it off, we'll get some new paint on the brush, have a brand new, nice bright white brush, just like that. Now, we've got our little rotation, we've got our thing out here. We might as well finish our little bit of foamy, sandy water, and then we'll come back and do our crashing bit, right? So since we got our thing out here, we're gonna be very bright as it's going up and up and up and up and up. Doesn't have to all be the same color, right? You don't want it to all be the same. There we go. And the light's not gonna be the same hitting the water everywhere, so don't worry about it, man. As we get in here, we're getting darker and darker and darker automatically because the paint's blending with the other paint, the other colors that are on the canvas. It's all blending together, creating that darker shadow as our wave rolls over. It's exactly what you want. Exactly what you want. Perfect. Now, what we're gonna do is, as we come in, there we go. Very lightly, you get to decide what you want your little crasher to look like. Now, we're gonna come back with another brush, get a little bit of our black, a little bit of our crimson, a little bit of our blue right onto the brush, right? Just all nastily, all three colors, doesn't matter. You just want a good amount of paint, be nice and dark in there, right? Crisscrossing, so it's all into the brush. And then that little dark separator that we talked about, we're gonna connect onto that guy and just start shaping what we want our wave to look like, right? You don't have to follow your bits exactly. I'm gonna come through and cut this off because I came down too much. I went too far. All right, so just to show you, You don't have to. That's that little piece of wave right there that we didn't cover, right? It's gonna all end up getting mixed anyway. So doesn't matter what happens, you can always go back and shape it however you want to shape it. Our little bit come up into our crazy bit above our horizon into the sky, back over the wave, right? So you got all that rotating, crashing spray. It'd be really cool. Then we're gonna come down here and just be awesome. Just crazy. Just crazy, Josh. What are you doing? There we go. And a little bit of our back ocean color back there, just the smallest little bit. I'm gonna work in any amount of color, and then I'm gonna drop just a little bit of whatever was on our brush down and then sideways, and you get this little soft, watery feel to it back there already. Already. Now we need to get a little liquid white. I'm gonna have a little liquid white into our brush. And that makes our titanium white pile very wet and sloppy. I'll show you the difference. Just down into here, getting that white and titanium white onto it, and you can see the literal difference between the two piles of paint. This one's very watery and gross, right? Very sloppy. And we're gonna come up here, we're gonna stay above those shadows, we're gonna start to slap at the canvas. Boom! As soon as you cross above the top of your wave, it gives more depth, and now we ride the top of those shadows all the way down, staying on the inside of the curve, right? You can come down into here, adding a few little bits of depth, a few little changes, and we come up and we just start slapping at it, just wherever. Just don't cover up all the dark, right? Leave some bits of dark, leave some bits of light, everywhere, just like that. And of course, that doesn't look like a wave, Josh. That's not what a wave looks like. I agree, right? So we're gonna come back with this brush right here, just like that. Oh, I almost dropped it into the paint bucket. That would have been bad. Let's try that one more time. Hey, just like that. We're gonna come back with this brush, and before we do that, actually, let's go back and make this a little bit more sloppy. I don't like it to be just a perfect thing. Right there. Excellent. Excellent. That looks like water as it's coming and crashing down, to me anyway. Now, as we come over here, we're going to start to very lightly mix, just like we did with our clouds, right? So softly, but all that liquid white is really going to want to grow fast. Watch, it really can just jump over here with like 2 swipes, and all of a sudden it's almost off the canvas, right? So very lightly. Go back and mix it. You want to leave some areas a bit brighter, some areas a bit darker, and you get all that just tumultuous spray. Just amazing. Now, as we come up here, I don't want to get everything, right? Not everything all has to look the same because the water is hitting at different times. It's not all coming down and slapping onto the ground at once. And therefore, we can have little bits that are a bit brighter and a bit darker and a bit more watery because they haven't come down and hit yet. Now we're going to take a clean dry brush, right? Nice brand new clean dry. We're going to go over these guys so much softer, just like that. Oh goodness, right? Just bare. Sometimes we don't even touch them. Just like that. Get that really cool thing so you got differences in our action of our water. Very neat. Okay, now we want to clean up that whole little section of our liquid white area because we don't want to have that liquid white be anywhere else on our canvas except for the watery places. Right? You're like, watery place. The whole thing is a watery place, Josh. No, I agree. I agree. That's not what I mean, though. That's not what I mean. Let's take this guy. We're going to come back and very lightly just start to soften everywhere. Using the same directional pulls as we did before, just with a little brush that's going to make them softer, a little bit more velvety. Takes away all the brush strokes, right? And pull these guys away down towards the end. A little bit of pressure. Bam. Just like that, right? And then if you need to, you can pull up from the side of the canvas towards the wave, right? But if you take them, like say if you took this guy and you pulled it sideways, you're gonna streak all those little things that are supposed to be going backwards, and you're gonna pull them the wrong direction. So it's all about the direction, the amount of pull, the amount of pressure on our brush, the amount of paint, right? As we come down here, we start to create this cool little thing. And now we're gonna swipe up into that little bit of shadowy mix. Our little dark separator area right there, and you get this little ridge that starts to, as they come and meet up at the top, you get this little ridge. Then you decide what you want your little ridge to look like, all dependent on how you pull your brush, and then come back in here and just kind of blend all those little bits back out, right? Get that really rounded, curved little wave right there. Very cool. Then you can again stretch this bit. You can change your action just by pushing it. It's like a little sequin pillow. You can slide it back and forth, however you want it to look. All right, take that guy over there. Just don't make all the colors the dang same. You gotta have that little dark separator. Keep everything nice. Don't lose your shadowing, right? Don't make everything all the same little bit. Now we're gonna come in here. This guy's gonna wanna grow up and touch the eye, so that's not what you wanna do. When you touch the eye, it hurts. You don't wanna touch the eye, right? I was putting my shirt on the other day. I was literally putting my shirt on to come do the show, and I had my hat like this in the front, right? And I was like, screw it, I'll just put the shirt on over the hat. Well, the lip of the shirt came down like this and shot down and hit me right in the open eyeball. God, it hurt. I've never had more pain in my life because I wasn't expecting to have anything hit my eye, and it literally hit my eyeball with the shirt, like whack. I was like, oh my God. It was the worst pain ever. So, don't touch the eye. It hurts when you touch the eye, okay? Doesn't like it. Now, let's come back in and come over here and tell the difference between our two white piles. We got our liquid white wet pile and then our dry titanium white pile, right? Which is still wet paint, but it's much drier than this other wet paint. So we're gonna take a little bit of that, and let's get a little bit of that crimson-y color, maybe a little of our yellow ochre. We're gonna mix them up down here, all right? Get this gorgeous pink out of this color. Look at that. Little yellow oak, a little of our crims, a little of our white. Man, that's gonna be pretty. Oh yes, right in there. A little bit more white, have it stand out. Oh yeah, getting it all over the brush, get that pink color. Then we're gonna come down and stay about a 1/4 inch underneath wherever our bit of foam was. So as we come down, they start dropping down, right? Because the angle of our wave is this little angle like that. So about a 1/4 inch. Now you guys got to tell me, when we come back with our 2-inch brush, do we give it a lot of pressure or do we just give it a little baby bit of pressure? All right, you guys tell me what to do. A lot of pressure, little pressure. Let me know in the comments. I'm gonna wash this brush off, and then we're gonna get ready to come back. But you guys gotta let me know. Otherwise, I don't know what to do. I forget. Sometimes I forget. Just like that, right? So let's see. What do we got? Lot of pressure. Someone says little pressure, says red tortilla. Lot says bruised orange. Lot. Let's see. Katie says little. Natalia says little. Lot. Let's see, guys. So let me show you both. I'll show you both ways, right? So with the same amount of quote unquote little pressure, right? Our little pressure gonna go like this. Now, does this start to look like sand to you guys if we do our little pressure sideways and then our little pressure sideways? Is that our sand? Do we want our sand to look like that? Is that completed finished sand with a little bit of pressure? Because, I mean, I could leave it like that. This one's already purchased, right? I could leave it like that. But does that look like sand to anybody? No, right? So we're gonna come in a lot of pressure. Bend those bristles, shoot them off down to the side. Bend it hard, throwing it off the edge, right? Lot of pressure. As we come over here, a little bit less, so we keep this side dark. This little corner right there, keep it nice and dark. But a lot of pressure pulling it down. Now we have to swipe it side to side because that looks like an aurora borealis. If we were to flip the canvas upside down, have it be up here, they're like, oh, sweet auroras, bro. So we have to swipe it horizontally side to side. But do we swipe it towards the wave first or do we swipe it away from the wave first? We've got to do both. But you guys got to tell me which one we got to do first. Swipe towards the wave or swipe away. We got away. Jamie Lee Rodriguez, Lisa Atkins says away. Let's see. We got, somebody says towards. Okay, so we got towards and away. Dally's wifey says towards. We got Shan says towards. Mimi says towards, right? Let me show you guys the difference again between both. Everyone who says towards the wave first is wrong. Bad baby, right? So if we went towards the wave first, look what happens. Our bit of colors instantly touch each other and we lose our dark separator because we just pushed all the color towards the wave, right? Boom, instantly lost all of our depth right there. Now, if we go the reverse way and we pull it away from the wave, right? We take all these little horizontal swipes and we start to stretch them out and pull them out, and you get all that little bit and leave our little dark corner down here. It looks awesome, right? Just like that. You don't want it to be too bright. Now, we pulled away. Look at how big our dark separator remained, right? We didn't get rid of it. We didn't cover it over. Now we've got to sweep it like Snow White. Got to clean up after the 7 dwarfs. I'm going to sweep all that color back underneath the rug, right? Got to sweep it up underneath the rug. So taking our little same brush, the same kind of pressure, we're going to start to sweep. And sweep and sweep and sweep, and the more you get closer to it, the cooler it looks. Look at that, guys. Just shrinks it down, and that way it looks like it'll float across the top of the sand. Just awesome. Just awesome. You guys are fantastic, and I love you. Now look at all these little dark bits in there, right? That's just from pushing and then coming over here and grabbing some and pushing that color, kind of removing it from this spot and pushing it over there. Just like those sequin pillows, you can slide it back and forth. Slide it this way, you get one color, slide it that way, you get another. So let's come back in, get a little bit of that pinky color again, and just back in here, gonna dump on a little bit more. A little bit more into there, a lot of pressure. Again, not trying to cover up our dark separator. Don't do that. And if you get too much paint on the brush, go dab it off on a paper towel. So when you come back in here and swipe away from our wave again, we'll have a few little brighter areas. We get rid of all those little darker strokes in there. And here comes the fun part that really makes it look like water. If you take a bit of our liquid white, just a pure liquid white paint, and we're gonna come underneath, right, in little differences, little different areas. A little bit thicker in some places, less in other places, right? This liquid white gives it like this shininess, and it'll all blend away too. Watch, so we're gonna pull it down, just like we did before. A little bit of different in some areas, light in some areas, dark in some areas. Now, as we slide it back, and then slide it forward, look at that little bit of like shiny white wetness on there. Sliding it up to our little bit of our dark separator. Just wicked, guys. Get that really wet, sheeny, shiny beach back there. Very cool. All right, now it all depends. A lot of times I end up covering too much, right? Maybe an issue with everybody else. So you come back in with your crimson and your black on your brush, and then you can shape your bit of wet sand to however you want it to. And it's all gonna blend in and create this cool little thing, get that really wicked little color down there. It's just awesome. Just awesome. We get to decide what we want it to look like. All dependent on how we pull our brush, you guys. Isn't that the coolest thing? You can literally move mountains, you can build oceans, you can do whatever you want, right? Take a little of our liquid white just straight up on the knife, right over the top of that bit of foam. Not trying to cover up our dark separator. Remember, don't cover it. Take these guys, slide it back. A little bit of action, a little bit of messiness happening in the foam back there. All with that liquid white, and it's very light. Right, it's gonna come up this way. Oh, just precious. Just precious, guys. Now, come back in with a very light touch and a clean brush. And we're gonna swipe it back up into the wave, right? We can always go back and fix this little bit back here. Don't worry about that. But that liquid white really wants to grow, so be very light. Swiping it up into the wave. Softening everything down. Get our little streaks out here. It's exactly what you want to have. All these little bits and differences out there, right? Just like that. Keeping our dark separation without having to do much. Very cool, guys. Very cool. That's a neat little seascape. And you've got to bend it up as it comes up these little waves, right? The same little direction that it was before. It helps everything blend in together. You can't just throw it out there and have it not match. That's not going to make anybody happy. So really cool, guys. I hope Adam likes this one. Make sure you guys are typing into the comments, what would you name this painting? And we're about to name this old guy right now. We've got a lot of brushes to clean up, and you guys are gonna start typing in names. So what would you want to name this painting? Put it in the comments section below, and we're gonna add the old family way back in here, flying off through the scene, and this guy just way back there. Little birdie, and a little birdie. Boop. Little birdie told me that the three little birdies are more famous than Paint with Josh, and I completely believed it. Right? You guys have to, I mean, I was doing a painting last night. I had like 17 comments are like, birds, because I wasn't done yet. Wasn't done yet, guys. So, let's come in, maybe over here, we'll take that bit of pink color that we use for our sandy thing, and we'll make our little, signature over here. Just real small, out of the way. Nobody needs to know it's an old Paint with Josh, right? Just like that. Very cool. Okay, guys. So, let's start coming up with names. I'm going to wash these brushes off. We're going to clean off the palette. And that was a quick little show for being late this morning and waking up late. Maybe I should just do a show like that off of no sleep and wake up late every time, right? Came out really good, if you ask me. Scrape up all this paint. You guys are going to tell me what do you want to name this painting, right? Help Adam decide. I hope he's watching. I told him what time we were going to be doing it, and I was only a few minutes late, so I hope he's watching. And Adam, if you can tell us that you're here watching and what name you want to pick, maybe pin the title of the painting that you want to use, and then we'll spin it around and name it. and it's gonna be awesome. So here we go. Got to clean up the old palette. I've got to run over to the gallery, and then I'll be back later on today to paint some more, make up some more stuff, try to sell some more art. It's gonna be awesome. Gonna be awesome, you guys. Okay, let's see what we got for titles back in here. What do we got for titles? We got all about the brush direction. That's right. Oh, you know what? The last thing that we almost forgot to do, guys? This is the most fun bit, too. We've got to add our little spray of our water into our painting. So we're going to take a little of our liquid white, going to come out here, dump it onto the edge, and then blast. Look at all these, just a million little shards of little spray as it hit and it came out. Just the coolest little thing. Just the coolest thing, right? And it would take you 10 million years to paint all those little spray bits as they're flying out. It just gives it the most bit of depth and detail. Just awesome. Really cool. Really, really cool. There we go. Sweet. All right, now that's the last little bit. You guys got to tell me what the name is. See if Adam's watching this one. And I hope he is anyway. I hope he's here watching. I'm going to start to clean up this old palette. All right, got the palette all wiped off because I'm a total clean freak, you can see. Got that all cleaned up. You guys are going to tell me what the name is. And we're going to wash off, what do we got? About 6, 7 brushes we got to wash real quick. And then we'll get going. All right, here we go. So, Fine Surf, I like that. Panama City. Hawaiian Sunset, those are cool titles. Cool titles. Let's see, if you look, you can see a submarine in the debris. That's wicked. I like that. I like that. Crimson Wave. Soulful Waters, Tranquility. Those are all excellent. Fire and Ice. I dig that too. I dig that too. You've been at this painting for 3 weeks? I've been at this painting for about 35 minutes. We've been doing this painting. So, let's clean off these brushes, guys, and then I'll go through it. I'll pick the best title. If Adam's not here watching, then I'll pick the best title, and I'll give whoever gives me the best title for this painting a shout out. So if you want a shout out, then make sure you're typing into the comments what you want to name this painting, and I'm going to come through and read them all, and we'll go through and see. So let me finish washing these brushes off, otherwise I'll forget these brushes, and then I'll go to the gallery, and then I'll come back to really hard, unusable brushes that won't make me happy. So, gotta wash them off, only takes a second. You guys tell me what the title of this painting is and see if Adam is in here watching. There's a lot of people in here watching. So, start typing in the comments. I'm gonna give a shout out to whoever gives us the best title, and then you get to name the Paint with Josh painting, and my goodness, that's a high honor. That's an honor if you ask me. Just an honorable mention, right? There we go. Take that and that. Put this over here. That over there. That over there. Got 2 brushes left, guys. 2 brushes left. So start typing in your comments. What do you want to name this painting? And then we'll be ready to start giving some shout-outs away. Shout-outs. Everybody loves a good shout-out from Paint with Josh, right? Got 2 brushes left. Here we go. 1 brush left. 1 brush after this. 1 brush down. 1 brush to go. The littlest bit. All right. Excellent. Okay, guys. What do we got for titles? What do we got for titles? Let's see. Let's see. Crashing into Paradise by Savannah. That's cool. Ocean Spray. Saffron Seaside. I like that. It's actually really neat. Tangerine. Oh, Tangerine Tide. Oh, I dig that one too. Tangerine Tide. Where'd it go? It disappeared so fast. Oh no, I can't even find it. Millie, right there. Millie. She's got 240 followers. Now you got 241. And we're gonna call it Tangerine Tide. That's really cool. I like that because the orange. I dig it. So let's spin this guy around. Everybody go follow Millie. She came up with the best title, Tangerine Tide. Woo, Nelly. All right, let's sign it down here. Bam, just like that. I sometimes forget how to spell original. So this one's number 832 on my career, guys. That's a lot of paintings if you ask me. So we're gonna call this one Tangerine Tide. I love it. Painted on what is today? My goodness, 6/24 of 23. And we're all gonna go to paintwithjosh.com in order to find my live schedule, when I paint live on TikTok, to find my YouTube, my Facebook, my Instagram, to find every single thing. Go to paintwithjosh.com. It's even got a link over to the gallery at paintwithjosh.com, or you can find me at cityoftheworldartgallery.org. We're hanging up over at City of the World Art Gallery inside Meadows Mall, Las Vegas, Nevada. Come down and see me. I'm going down there right after this to go do some stuff. So come down and see me. We teach classes down there. We've got art for sale, not just from me, but from lots of local artists. Fantastic stuff down there. So come down and check us out, Meadows Mall and City of the World Art Gallery. It's gonna be really cool. Gonna be cool. So I wanna thank you guys for tuning in, for watching, for checking out the show, for helping me name this painting, because you guys are fantastic. Just fantastic. And we're going to hang around on TikTok for a little bit, but we're going to say goodbye to YouTube and Facebook right now. So, thanks everybody on YouTube and Facebook for checking in, for watching the show, for hanging out today. I totally love this, how this one came out. I know you guys love it as well, and I can't wait to be back next week. We'll see you again on the next one. Boom! Get him out of here, Josh. All right, Josh, thanks. Thanks for your help, Josh. Oh, no.